Welcome to the 1871 podcast, and our special guest for this episode is Reading women's defender Lily Woodham. So, hi Lily, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us.
Hiya, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Really appreciate you giving up some of your time to speak to us. So, before we speak to Lily, just a heads up for you that we've got Glenn Little coming on as a guest next week. Thanks to Johnny for organising that one. Well done, Johnny. So our guests coming up over the next few days are as follows. Tomorrow, we've got former Reading defender Linvoy Primus as our guest. Then on Saturday, former Reading midfielder John Halls. And then on Tuesday evening, it's former Reading winger Glenn Little. So looking forward to all of those. And we'll get straight into our chat with Lily now. So Lily, you've been at Reading since 2018. You've represented Wales in that time, and you're currently part of a Reading side that is obviously facing an uphill battle in trying to avoid relegation from the WSL. So, 2 points behind Leicester, 3 points behind Spurs with 2 games to go. Do you still think Reading have got what it takes to be able to stay up?
Yeah, I think obviously looking back at certain performances, we haven't done as well as we probably could have this season. But look, you can't look back at that now, and it's kind of, we've got 2 games left to really push ourselves. And yeah, I think you've always got to believe that we can stay up. I think everyone in the camp is kind of like, yeah, let's really push ourselves and kind of aim for it. And we've got a big game against Spurs, as you've probably seen Kel say. So yeah, that for us is huge. So yeah, there's still belief there for sure.
Oh, well, that's good to hear that from yourself. And as you say, Spurs away on Saturday, and obviously if you beat them, you'll draw level on points. If you win that game, and then your final game is against Chelsea. Probably would have preferred to avoid, a team like Chelsea in the last game, but Leicester have got West Ham on Sunday. Then they're away to Brighton a week on Saturday, and Spurs' final game is against West Ham. So, it's been a tough season, and you've lost the last 4 games, including that defeat against Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into a run like that, how tough is it for the players to stay motivated?
I think it's new for quite a lot of players within our team. We've kind of got a mix where people probably haven't been in this situation quite a lot. We have a handful that probably have been. So it's a brand new challenge for everyone. And I think, yeah, look, it's been a really tough season, and it is really hard to go into training every week and kind of have the pressure and kind of try and stay as positive as you can. But that's what you play football for. It's a good pressure. It's kind of good nerves. It's a good challenge. So yeah, it's just kind of keeping everyone as positive as you possibly can. We've got some big characters that have done well to do that, and yeah, we just kind of got to see the rest of the season through now. And yeah, it's all to play for. So.
All right, Johnny, I'd like to bring you in now, if that's all right.
Yeah, hi Lily. I was just talking about this season, sort of, with the other clubs in the league, the big clubs with the big budgets. How hard is that for Reading? We've been done so well in the last few seasons to stay in as one of the only men's championship teams to be in the women's Super League. How hard is it to compete when you see the Chelseas and the Arsenals, the budgets that they have compared to Reading?
Yeah, I think you can kind of tell, can't you? It's been tough for us. We've done well to stay in the position that we have been, considering obviously where the men have been at. But yeah, I think we've always done well to work hard. We've always done well to try and compete with the teams in and around us. And look, we have taken points off bigger teams in the past. And yeah, it's really tough to kind of look at, and you kind of look and yeah, budgets. It's a big game now. It's only going upwards. So players are looking for bigger budgets and kind of the signings you see other clubs make. We can't necessarily do that. So it's just kind of looking around and trying to work on the things that, and have an identity in terms of what can we do to kind of, with the players and squad and budget we have, what can we achieve as a club? Yeah.
And Kelly's been part of the club for a long time. How much do you think of her, and what does she do for you as a team and as a squad?
Yeah, she always does the best for us. She's always kind of fighting for us behind the scenes and kind of trying to get the best for us as a group. yeah, so she's been pivotal, and obviously Reading's rise to where we are. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be where it is without her. So yeah, she's just kind of fought for a lot for us. Yeah.
And over the last few years, I used to watch you down at Adams Park when you was, I guess, semi-professional. The change to full-time professionals, how is that for you as a player to improve and having, just that focus?
Well, I remember signing my first contract, and it was a dream come true. And obviously, I still love every minute of this. It is my dream. You get to go out and play football all the time, and that's kind of all you do. And yeah, it's just looking after yourself, making sure you're always ready to perform, which is tough. It takes a toll on kind of your body. You obviously miss a lot of things in terms of outside of football, but yeah, I wouldn't change for the world. It's incredible.
What's been your the highlight so far for you as a player in your career?
I think for me, the highlight's probably been playing for my country, and kind of when I got my debut for Wales. Yeah, I don't think I've yet been able to recreate how happy I was with that. And just improving every day. I think being a professional footballer is something I've always dreamed of doing. So yeah, but I definitely think Wales debut tops it at the moment. Yeah.
And Lily, I'd like to ask you about the link between the men's team and the women's team. I think that it does seem like there's a lot more togetherness as a club now with the men's and the women's side. What's that link like with the men now? And did the men's team getting relegated, has that affected the women's side at all?
I wouldn't say it's affected us. I kind of think obviously we're at the same training ground and stuff now, which is really nice. We can use the facilities that the men have, which obviously for us is incredible. It's an amazing place to be every day. Yeah, it's obviously gutting for the men, and we were obviously felt for them, and it's a struggle going down. Relegation's a tough time, and obviously with the 6 points that they lost without even playing it again, it's just really tough for a player to kind of have to constantly fight and try and push the team. No one wants to go down. So yeah, it was tough, but we've just got to try and focus on ourselves because we've got to do the same thing next couple of weeks.
And it was a good season for Reading last season. You finished 8th. What do you think has been the difference this season? Is it the other teams, or is there something that hasn't quite gone as well for Reading? What do you think has been the difference?
I think last season we had a form of winning 8 games or something in a row, and kind of when you do go through that winning stage, it feels like nothing can stop you. Everyone's so positive, everyone's buzzing. There's no nerves, because you're kind of going into games thinking, yeah, we can do this. We can take something from this. So yeah, looking back at this season, obviously we haven't had great results, great performances. We've put in some here and there, but when you get in that run and that rut of kind of, it takes a negative toll. And I think, yeah, it's just been a really tough season for everyone involved.
And your 5 seasons at Reading have all been in the WSL. You probably don't want to talk about the consequences of relegation, but how will that have an impact on the club if that did happen? And would you be confident that you could bounce straight back, or you're just not thinking about that at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's always in the back of your mind, isn't it? There is obviously no one's hiding from the fact there is a possibility that we could go down. Obviously, going to aim not to, and aim to try and stay in this league. But yeah, look, the Championship is a good league as well. It's kind of, it won't be as easy as everyone kind of thinks to just bounce straight back up. We'll still have to work hard. We'll still have to do everything we can to kind of compete with teams in that league as well. So yeah, no one's really thinking about it too much, but yeah, fingers crossed we manage to kind of stay up. But yeah.
All right. Well, wish you well with that. And Johnny, do you want to come back in now?
Yeah, women's football has just gone through the roof the last few years, and especially Reading being one of the first teams to use the men's stadium, for a better word. How does it like for you playing there? I mean, the crowds have been great this season, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been incredible. I mean, the support we've had from the fans this season is amazing, and us as players, staff, can't thank them enough. You hear them constantly at games. We've had record attendances and stuff, so that's been amazing to walk out to. And yeah, we obviously are so thankful for that. It's a lot easier, I guess, for them to get. It's central Reading, isn't it? It's an amazing stadium, amazing pitch. So yeah, every time you go out at a home game, it's an incredible feeling.
I think and the fans really enjoy the interaction they get with you as well. And
Yeah.
what do you think now? Like, where do you think women's football or Reading, hopefully part of this, but where do you think women's football is going to go now? I mean, it's just gone up and up.
Yeah.
Where's next?
I only think it can keep growing. I kind of think, obviously, everything that's happened within the last few years is huge now. You see Wembley sold out for the FA Cup final, and that's something that people probably didn't think would ever happen. So it's only ever going to get better, and hopefully, yeah, we can still kind of as a club be a part of that and keep fighting to get bigger.
Just on a sort of a different note now, you're ambassador for the Proud Royals. I've been part of that group.
Yeah.
How proud are you to be that role for Reading, and what do you feel that can be done in that to promote equality?
I think obviously, yeah, it was an honour when I got asked to kind of be the person for that role for the club. It was an amazing feeling, and I was really proud to do it. And I think it just means that everyone kind of feels comfortable within themselves. There's communities that can help. Like in terms of me personally, I would always be someone that if anyone needed, I'm always there. I just think, yeah, it needs to be normalised, and I think obviously with the Proud Royals, I think that just emphasises how we're trying to work on it as a club and kind of make everyone feel a part of it.
And like I know in the men's game, there still feels that big stigma, isn't it, around somebody's sexuality? And with 2023, it shouldn't matter. But what do you think could be? What do you think needs to change in the men's game to improve that? Make it
having role models and men's players at men's clubs can obviously they have a massive platform to do a lot, which I think they do, and it's tough for the men's game because obviously the fans and kind of sometimes how volatile games can be and players not feeling comfortable to kind of show their true selves just in case of any repercussions. But I think, yeah, men's players and stuff, obviously having a voice, having such a big voice, could really probably help a lot of players feel a lot more comfortable. But yeah, I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. And yeah.
And same around mental health in football. It's something I'm passionate about. And how as players do you get supported with that? And for your own personal lives, but also as players, under pressure as part of a team.
There's always support systems at clubs. You have chaplains, you have psychologists that you can speak to, you have people along that, and there's obviously you have friends at the club that you've probably known for years that you can always rely on. I know I've had that at Reading for a long time, so yeah, and obviously there's things outside of football that you can go to and things. So yeah, it's kind of just making sure you're keeping on top of stuff, and when you do feel the pressure and you do feel like something isn't quite right or something's not working for you, important to make sure you speak out about that because again, we know there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah.
And Lily, you're still only 22, but you've been playing in the WSL for a long time already.
Yeah. So
including you had a season at Bristol City before you joined Reading, that was in the WSL. Yeah. So altogether, including Reading, you've had 5 WSL seasons, as well as the season on loan at Charlton, which was in the Championship.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you personally, your own sort of personal journey from wanting to be a footballer to actually getting to already, you're only 22. I can't even remember back to when I was 22. It's so long ago. But you're an established player now. But what's that journey been like for you personally to sort of firstly at Bristol City and then to come to Reading and become an established player? Is it sort of dream come true stuff for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously the season I was at Bristol, I think was the first time in my personal life that I thought, wow, this is something that I could probably do, and this is something I really want to achieve, because you see that they do it every day and it's kind of their lifestyle. And I was like, wow. At that age, I was like, that's amazing. So the journey's been fun. It's obviously been tough at times with injuries and kind of spells out on the bench and just working my way into the team, which I've managed to do, which I'm grateful for. So yeah, hopefully I've got a few more seasons in me. Got a while yet, but no, it's been enjoyable for sure.
And obviously Wales as well. You've represented Wales, and you've scored for Wales, haven't you? Against the Faroe Islands 3 years
Yeah.
ago. You know, what was it like to firstly represent your country, and what are your memories of that goal that you scored?
I think if you ask anyone that is Welsh or plays for Wales, we love our country, and every time I put on that shirt, it's the same feeling of I can't believe I'm here, and it's an honour. So yeah, to score on my debut as well, a header of all goals to score it was an incredible feeling, and being around players that I've probably looked up to for a long time in my career, being on the pitch and them celebrating with me was just incredible.
And playing for your country, playing in the WSL, do you feel like a pioneer, an ambassador for women's football? Do you feel like, when you were hoping that you were going to become a player, do you feel like you're now in a position where you can help inspire young girls that they can achieve this as well?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you look now, we're on telly a lot more. I think there's a lot more role models, not just myself, but you look at the big clubs and kind of how many role models people have now that are amazing to look up to. So I think, it's a big part for us who are in the game to ensure that keeps going and people still and girls still want to play football, because if we can do it, so can you, kind of thing. So I think it's pivotal for us to kind of to make sure that we do that when we're playing as well.
Johnny, going to bring you back in now.
Billy, you talk about heroes. Who were your footballing heroes growing up? Who did you want to be left back, or did you think, oh, I want to be a striker, or is it kind of a?
Yeah, well, I did start as a left winger back in Wales, so I've kind of come back to defence over the years. But no, I think. Oh, sorry, his dog's kicking off. Stop it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I just think for me, like, being within the game and stuff is incredible. So my heroes when I was growing up was Messi. So I didn't really watch women's football and stuff at the time. It wasn't really on. So Messi, and then when I did eventually get into women's football, Farrah Williams was a part of Reading when I first joined, and she was someone that I looked up to. She would even achieving after everything she achieved at that point in her career, she'd always stay out for extras and kind of always look to learn, do everything that she could. And she's an incredible footballer, and as a person, she helped me too. So I look up to her a lot.
Playing wise, you've come across some top players. Who's your hardest opponent that you faced, would you say?
God, you know what? It changes every season. I'd say for a long time, who would I say? Chloe Kelly's been someone that's, obviously, as a winger, she's an out-and-out winger, and it is amazing. So to play against her and try and stop her from putting in crosses has been tough over the years. But there's a lot of players that I think have been amazing to try and play against. I think that's something for defenders that we always look to do, is kind of they're enjoyable games because it's against someone that is really good, and you've got to up your own game to match theirs. So there's loads. I actually couldn't tell you how many.
And like, do you have ambitions yourself to become like captain? Do you see yourself as a future? I know you're very young in the game, but do you see yourself as a future leader?
I'm still very young, and there's still things that in my game I need to improve. I think. Yeah, I would love to be a captain. I think it's something that is a really important job. And I think you've got to be a certain type of person to do that, which I'm trying to learn and look up to other captains I've had and what they do, and kind of, there's still things I definitely need to get better at to be that person. But it's something I'd love to be able to do one day.
And over the last few years, what would you say be the one thing that's changed in the game that's improved the quality?
I think just the investment and kind of the backing that we've had as a sport has obviously grown massively over the last few years. We've got people that back us now that probably wouldn't have in the past. And I think investment, the deals with Sky, and just kind of having more attention in terms of media, where you can kind of get to know players and see the background and see like how things work and how things run. So yeah, I think that's been a really big help as well.
And around your teammates, who is the joker in the team? I don't get in any trouble, but like, do you have like guys, the leaders of the change room, the jokers, the quiet ones?
Oh, we've got an array. We have got an array. I think the group gets on really well. So obviously, as a team, you always have different people. I think people would agree. Grace Maloney, the keeper, is a joker. She's one of my closest friends. So yeah, she's been there the whole time I have, and yeah, she's very funny. There's a few: Mitch and Rachel Rowe, Gemma Evans, and then obviously there's quite a people within the dressing room. So yeah, Amalia Eichland's another funny one. She just does things that you don't even think are funny, but she just makes you laugh. So yeah, there's a few, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a very positive change room and a positive team. And it's was it the crowd of the Tottenham's crowd is, I don't know what the stadium holds there, but that's going to be an exciting day, isn't it? But regardless of what it means, but to play at that ground.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think obviously being able to play at men's grounds when you get the opportunity is always an amazing feeling. It's like carpet. It's incredible. Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of fans there. Hopefully we get a lot of fans too, and kind of look, it's our biggest game on a big stage, so it makes sense, really. Yeah.
And Lily, go on, Johnny.
No, back to you, Mark. Sorry.
All right, Lily, I just wanted to ask you. You mentioned Farah, and just wondered, which other players that you've looked up to that have, played for Reading, because Reading have had a great run of success in the WSL.
Yeah.
Compared to like the big clubs in the men's game, they're now catching up. Man United, got a chance of winning the league this season.
Yeah.
But Reading have been kind of ahead of a lot of those clubs like Liverpool and so on. So who are the other players that have represented Reading that you've looked up to?
There's been, I'd say Brooke Chaplin is another one. The way she kind of was so professional in terms of eating, sleeping, recovery, how she trained and played. She was another one for me that I kind of looked to and thought, okay, that's what I need to be probably doing to make sure I'm ready for games and stuff. I've also obviously had my best friend, Charlie Escott, used to be there, and I think she helped me in terms of she was very professional, a few years older than me, and she'd achieved a lot. So I was always bounced off her, like, oh, should I do this? And she helped me through some really hard times within my career at the time. So yeah, having her there as well was also a massive help for me.
And I got one final question for you, Lily. What would you say inspires you as a player and also as a person?
I think for me, a lot of it is my mum. I think I owe a lot to her, and kind of she inspires me every day to kind of be the best, always work hard. You can never give up. And I think the time she gave up for me to be where I am, I've only got to owe it back to her now. So yeah, she always wants me to do the best that I can. And yeah, as a player, look, I want to be one of the best, and that's always been a dream, and that's always going to be my aim, is to get as far as I possibly can within the game. So yeah, I'd say both of them.
Yeah, well, Lily, we want to wish you all the best for the weekend and the rest of the season, the final game against Chelsea as well, and just wish you well in the rest of your career. You're an established player already, despite being only 22. So
Still got a few.
Congratulations for your career so far, and wish you well, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that you can play a part in helping to keep Reading up. It's a tough one, but you're still in the fight, so wish you well with that. And just want to say thanks ever so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.
Thank you so much, Lily.
That's all right.
And I'm just going to finish off our guest coming up tomorrow. We've got former Reading defender Linvoy Primus. Then on Saturday, former Reading midfielder John Halls. And then on Tuesday, we've got former Reading winger Glenn Little. But for now, thanks ever so much to Lily. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it.